As Eugene Cernan stood on the moon's surface, an inexplicable tension enveloped the lunar landscape. The vastness seemed to whisper secrets, and amidst the swirling dust, his boots pressed against an ancient rhythm of silence. He and Jack Schmidt, completing their final EVA, were engrossed in the discovery of a peculiar ridge, its geometric lines starkly contrasting against the lunar terrain. This was not just another geological formation. It felt alive with untold mysteries. Cernan's brow furrowed as he pointed out the anomaly, igniting a spark of curiosity and concern among them. Schmidt's hammer striking the lunar regolith paused, transforming the moment into an intimate encounter with the cosmic unknown. Cernan's voice, usually calibrated for routine communication, quivered with a mix of wonder and anxiety as he relayed their findings back to mission control. The silence in Houston was palpable, punctuated only by questions that echoed between the walls of controlled chaos. A structure on the moon, flawless and oddly serene, challenged the very foundations of their understanding of the celestial body they stood upon. Rectangular and dark, it loomed like an ancient sentinel, demanding attention and caution. In that surreal situation, time warped, each second stretching into eternity as they approached. The structure seemed to defy time itself, untouched by meteor storms or solar chaos. As the astronauts documented their findings with precision, the atmosphere turned electric with the gravity of the moment. Cernan's gaze shifted to the ground surrounding the structure, noting a difference in texture. The lunar dust, usually coarse and indifferent, appeared polished as if caressed by an unseen hand. With each careful step, the astronauts danced around the mystery. They were pioneers at the edge of the known universe, swimming in the depths of the unknown. Was this structure a remnant of another age, a beacon from beyond the stars, or the echo of a civilization lost to time? Their breaths became the only sound against the void of space, each click of the camera capturing not just images but emotions, wonder, fear, and a deep-rooted yearning for understanding. In that isolated world, they reached out not just with their hands, but with their very souls, yearning for connection, for clarity in a universe filled with disarray. This encounter with the unseen would linger long after their footsteps faded, a testament to humanity's indomitable spirit of exploration and inquiry. The moon had a story to tell, and they were among its first listeners. Years passed. The grainy images of the lunar anomaly became the stuff of conspiracy theories and hushed conversations within scientific circles. Officially, NASA maintained its stance, unusual rock formations, but behind closed doors the debate raged. The evidence, though limited, was compelling enough to warrant further investigation. Thus Apollo 18 was conceived, a mission shrouded in unprecedented secrecy. Its official purpose was listed as advanced geological surveys in a new lunar region. The real objective, known only to a select few, was the structure found by Apollo 17. The crew selected was a tight-knit group of 3. Commander Colonel Evelyn Reed, a seasoned astronaut and test pilot known for her sharp intellect and unflappable demeanor. Lunar Module Pilot Dr. Jian Li, a brilliant astrophysicist and engineer, and mission specialist Dr. Marcus McAllen, a geologist with a particular expertise in extraterrestrial materials. Their launch was unceremonious. The media kept largely in the dark about the specific landing site. As Orion, their lunar module, descended towards the Taurus Littrow Valley, a palpable tension filled the cabin. They knew what awaited them. Target acquisition confirmed, Lee announced, his eyes glued to the landing radar. Bearing 092, distance 1 kilometer. Reed peered through the triangular window. There it was, the same dark rectangular shape that had haunted the dreams of those who had seen the Apollo 17 footage. It looked larger now, more defined. The landing was smooth. As the dust settled, Reed was the first out, followed closely by Lee and Allen. The familiar crunch of lunar regolith under their boots was underscored by an unfamiliar sense of anticipation. "All right, team." Reed's voice was calm and professional over the comms. "Let's proceed according to plan. Mac, you're with me for initial approach." Jian set up the remote sensing equipment and established a secure comms link. They moved towards the structure, the silence amplifying the pounding of their hearts. Up close, it was even more perplexing. The obsidian-like surface was perfectly smooth, unbroken by any seams or rivets. It felt strangely warm to the touch of Reed's gloved hand, a subtle anomaly in the frigid lunar environment. "No discernible entry points," Reed reported. "The material is unlike anything I've ever encountered. It's dense." Alan ran a handheld spectrometer over the surface. "Readings are off the charts, Commander. Unidentified elements. The composition is alien." As Li worked on the remote sensors, he noticed something on the ground near the base of the structure, a series of faint, almost geometric patterns etched into the polished dust. They weren't random, they seemed deliberately placed. "Commander Mac," Li called out, his voice filled with excitement. "I'm seeing markings here, consistent patterns in the regolith." Reed and Alan joined him. The patterns were subtle, almost like wind-blown ripples, but upon closer inspection they formed a sequence of lines and curves, too precise to be natural. Could it be some form of writing? Alan speculated, his gloved finger tracing one of the lines. Suddenly, as Li adjusted one of his instruments, a low hum resonated from the structure. It was a deep, resonant tone that vibrated through their boots and into their bodies. The faint patterns on the ground began to glow with a soft internal light. Panic flared briefly, but Reed's training took over. "Everyone stay calm, report." "Sensors are going haywire," Li exclaimed, energy readings spiking. The humming intensified, and the glowing patterns on the ground began to shift and change, forming more complex geometric shapes. Then, a section of the structure's surface shimmered and dissolved, revealing an opening. Inside, a soft, pulsating light emanated from a space that defied earthly architecture. There were no walls as they understood them, only flowing lines of light and shadow. Strange, intricate devices floated in the air, humming with barely perceptible energy. Hesitantly, Reed took a step forward. Li and Alan exchanged nervous glances but followed. They had come too far to turn back now. As they entered the alien space, the humming subsided, and the glowing patterns outside faded. A sense of profound stillness settled around them, as if the structure itself was acknowledging their presence. They were no longer alone with the silent enigma on the moon. They had been invited in. The true exploration had just begun.